A car carrying 120 kilograms of C-4 explosives was dismantled by Syrian Arab Army units in Baghdad neighborhood in Homs. The UN Security Council rejects a draft resolution for ending the Israeli occupation of Palestinian territories due to the refusal of the US and Australia. In Tunisia, Sipsi was sworn in as the first Tunisian elected president. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Yara Krikorian with the news in English. President Bashar al-Assad today issued Law number 36 of 2014, allocating in favor of the relatives of the martyrs 50% of the vacancies to be filled as a result of contests and tests run by the public sector in accordance with the provisions of the Basic Workers' Law number 50 of 2004 and its amendments. The law defines the martyr and the relatives of the martyr and those suffering from cases of complete disability. In Homs, specialized authorities dismantled a car bomb loaded with C4 near Al-Bayyada roundabout. The car was a Mercedes loaded with 3 containers that include between 100 and 120 kilograms of the highly burning C4, and it was ready to be detonated by remote control. In a series of repeated attacks on the secure neighborhoods in Homs, the terrorist groups targeted the neighborhood of Ikrima last October by 2 terrorist blasts in front of the 2 schools of Ikrima al-Jadida and Ikrima al-Makhzoumi, killing and injuring dozens, most of them children. Syrian Arab Army, in cooperation with the National Defense Units, killed many terrorists and injured others near Al-Andalus Hospital in Al-Wa'ar neighborhood in Homs. Syrian Arab Army units also eliminated many terrorists in Al-Khamis market in Taldaw of Al-Hule and foiled an infiltration attempt by terrorists who tried to sneak from around Rajm al-Qasr village towards Jama' village in Homs eastern countryside. In Daraa, Syrian Arab Army killed many terrorists in Daraa al-Balad and the 2 towns of al-Nusra and al-Ahrak. The UN Security Council has rejected the draft resolution on ending Israeli occupation of the Palestinian lands with the opposition of the US and Australia. The UK, Lithuania, Nigeria, Korea and Rwanda abstained. Russia, China, Argentina, Chile, Chad, Luxembourg, France and Jordan voted in favor. That is 1 vote less than the minimum required at the Council. Media sources close to the session said Nigeria, on which the Palestinian delegation relied, was influenced by the American pressure, and that Washington had contacted 12 states to abrogate the Palestinian draft resolution. The Palestinian delegation, headed by Riyad Mansour, expressed regret over the failure of the UN Security Council to approve the draft resolution, which aims at ending Israeli occupation according to international legitimacy and the Security Council's resolutions. They pointed out that the result of the vote confirms that the Council is not ready to shoulder its responsibilities in adopting a resolution that would lead to a just peace. Russia's representative at the Council, Vitaly Churkin, said the draft resolution aimed at enhancing a legal basis that the whole world would recognize, which would lay down the foundation of the peace process. However, the US stand, he added, obstructed reaching such an agreement. The Chinese representative on his part said the resolution reflects the legitimate demands of the Arab nation as well as of the Palestinian people and is in conformity with the relevant UN resolutions and the land in return for peace principle. Also in Palestine, Israeli occupation troops conducted a wide-scale arrest campaign in occupied Jerusalem and other Palestinian cities in the West Bank, during which 14 Palestinians, including children, were arrested. Meanwhile, Israeli settlers attacked Palestinian properties, setting fire in a house south of Hebron in the West Bank. In another incident, a female settler who was driving her car ran over Palestinian teenager Amin Majid Hajahija while he was in his way to school east of Beit Lahem. Tunisian President Al-Baji Qaid al-Sibsi was sworn in before the People's Assembly as the first elected president for the Second Republic. Al-Sibsi said in a speech that the people has won despite all desperate attempts to instigate chaos and conflict. The newly elected president announced his support for international efforts to combat terrorism. He added that his country will establish friendly relations with the outside world on the basis of moderation and non-interference in other countries' internal affairs. He pointed out that the current Tunisian government will pursue a policy based on respect of human rights and the international legitimacy resolutions. One Iraqi citizen was killed today and 2 others were wounded when an explosive device blew up in al-Rashidiyah, north of Baghdad. Another blast in al-Madain, south of Baghdad, injured 6 civilians. Within the same context, an Iraqi interior source said Al-Najaf police has captured 10 terrorists, including women, who tried to enter the governorate to facilitate the perpetration of terrorist operations and the formation of dormant cells. The developments have coincided with the 3rd anniversary of the end of American occupation of Iraq, which lasted for 9 years and killed thousands of Iraqis, rendered millions homeless and destroyed the country's infrastructure. Dozens were killed and wounded following a big explosion which targeted the Cultural Center building in the city of Ib in central Yemen. Yemeni medical sources said 33 people were killed following the suicide explosion. Finally, in Turkey, as part of the repressive policy, Turkish police stormed the house of journalist Sadaf Kabbash for a Twitter she published on the Facebook revealing the corruption and bribery scandals which were uncovered in Turkey last year. The journalist Kabbash had criticized the Turkish government for closing the investigation on corruption and bribery and said on Twitter, "Don't forget the names of the investigator and Attorney General who closed the investigation of corruption and bribery revealed in January last year." With this, we conclude our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. Now to latest business and market news with Syrien, but after a short break.